Hello everyone, welcome back to another 2v2 battle. This is going to be Heinrich Himmler in his continued search for KRELL. He has met up with a very friendly orc tribe who mentioned that they thought they saw KRELL in the clutches of a very evil, chaos, and bestial tribe nation that these orcs happen to also be enemies with. Odd. But anyway, Heinrich Himmler is going to join up with the orc tribe and search for KRELL and try to break him out of prison here, or out of the clutches of these evil chaos foes. And first, going to ask these three aspiring champions, have they seen KRELL and where is he located? Where is his cage? Now, real talk, unfortunately this player has these three aspiring champions in Vanguard position, which is cool. I don't see that utilized often. But unfortunately, they did not put them in the right place. So I was able to see all three of them at the start of the battle, which is why I'm currently marching over here. I think you can hide back here. They do also have hide in the forest, but you need to kind of stack them up right here in a very dense formation if you don't want them to be seen. So that was a unfortunate mistake for my enemy there. But anyway, my actual army, now that the story is done with here, we have a front line. Well, it's kind of hard to tell now, but we do have 4 skeletal warriors. We have 2 can race, the 2 puppies, a mortis engine, a corpse cart, the stearnsman, 1 additional grave guard, and then back here we also have a blood knight, and then the Varix reavers. And of course, Heinrich Himmler himself and his buddy Necromancer, who's going to stay by his side through most of this battle. The Greenskin ally here, front line of Orc Biggins. We have Black Orcs, the Crimson Killers, 2 Goblin Big Bosses, the Orc War Boss, 2 Orc War Boy Biggins, including the Broken Tusk Mob, and then the Night Goblin Shaman, and a Durusty Error, which was Vanguard deployed on top of 4 Ungor Herds, which were Vanguard deployed from the Beastman player. We also have 3 normal Centigores, I believe. Yep. 2 Gorbulls, Beast Lord on a Chariot, 2 Ungor Spearmen, 3 Giants. Then for the Chaos player, the 3 aspiring champions over there, a Chaos Chariot? Yeah. Not even a Gorbull Chariot. Or not, sorry, not Gorbull. Gorbeast? Something like that. That's the better version, I think. But anyway, Chariot, 2 additional Giants, a Chaos Lord, and then a Chaos Warrior with great weapons. Then a flying corps of 5 Manticores, and then an exalted hero on a Manticore. So 6 Manticores in total. Now, Giants are definitely not a bad pick against Greenskins and Vampire counts because one faction doesn't have ranged at all, and the other faction most likely won't bring that much to pelt the Giants down, so they'll actually be able to survive in melee. But that's a lot of Giants. So over here, I'm going to corner these 3 aspiring champions, and we are going to just have fun with them. Meanwhile, I do see all of these flying Manticores around, so I'm like, well, I better make sure that Heinrich Himmler is well protected because this type of squad can easily just charge down and murder him. So I'm going to try and keep my cav nearby, my can race nearby, my everything nearby. Meanwhile, some of these basic skeletal warriors and Fluffy here, one of our puppies, are going to charge into these aspiring champions. I almost charged the can race, which would have been really bad because these guys do magical damage. So I'm going to leave the can race way out of this fight. I'm going to send some more, I think it's a grave guard I'm sitting in there. And we'll get to my allies battle here soon. Manticore's coming in, probably looking for an opening against Heinrich Himmler, who is, I think, marching up toward the battle. Yeah, he's marching up to the battle. He has a lot of units around him. There are trees around him. And yeah, we are just asking these aspiring champions where they have KRELL stored. They don't have an answer. In fact, they look at Heinrich Himmler with confused looks. If you can see their looks, they're hid behind a helmet. They're like, I don't know what you're talking about, man. And they're going to start running off the field of battle. And I think at some point, yeah. So the Manticore crew is going to land in, I don't remember who they targeted specifically, but they did land on one of my units, and then I just kind of converged with the Blood Knights, the Knights of the Varix Reavers. Can race are going in, and we're going to surround this Chaos Pharaoh Manticore. It's not going to get away. The puppy's on top of it as well. And we're going to do a lot of damage. I think it does eventually rout, but it is going to come back. Meanwhile, the 3 aspired champions have been routed off the field because, well, they're right next to the field, and they routed right off of it. So now we're going to go on our way to assist our ally as we continue to deal with that one Manticore. And we're just going to fast forward here a little bit. It's an odd battle. And I think eventually we do get another charge of Manticores. Here we go. So the Chaos Warriors and the Giants and these Manticores are coming back over to us. So I'm going to wrap around our Cav back closer towards Heinrich Himmler, who is lagging a little bit behind. He is right over here with some Skeletal Warriors. My Necromancer, oh, you know what? I forgot to go over spells, but my Necromancer only has Raised Dead and Invocation of the Heck, and I believe I only gave that to Heinrich Himmler as well. Yeah, so the idea was to summon a lot of skeletal warriors in this game, which we haven't done quite yet. But you can see the Manticore is going to come down here and charge Heinrich Himmler. He's not happy about that, but it's okay. There are puppies nearby, there are skeletal warriors, there are Sternsmen, there are blood knights, Varric reavers, and we're all going to be engaging with their flying corps, while my can race are going to try to hold off this chaos giant, and then the skeletal warriors and the other can race we have are going to deal with this chaos warrior with great weapons. The can race are pretty good at taking a giant's damage. It doesn't do as much to them, and they can just kind of last for a while, and then you can just like invocation them to heck to get them back up to full strength. But yeah, we are just swarming this flying corps, which is trying to assassinate Heinrich Himmler. Too bad for them, he's got a lot of friends in the puppies and the blood knights and the barracks, reavers, skeletal warriors all over the place. And I think I throw Heinrich Himmler into one of these fights. Maybe not. Maybe he's just back here regenerating. I do try and keep the Necromancer nearby him though, because he has the Master of the Dead trait. Heinrich Himmler does have both of his legendary items. He does not have Master of the Dead trait, because that does not work in melee, and I intended him to be in melee. So now that those Manticores are being routed off, the puppy is going to go over here against the giant. And again, the Karen race, after all this time dealing with a high damaging giant, really not taking much. Also, I invocated them as well. And these Chaos Warriors did not have a good time against these Karen race and the Skeletal Warriors. So right now, Varric reavers are going to go and assist my ally as I continue to deal with this giant and just march our forces across the battlefield. You can see the Manticores and the Exalted Hero just kind of hanging off in the wings. We have slowly picked off almost 2 of the Manticores at this point. Maybe 3. And so yeah, with the puppies here, the giant is not long for this world. They are very outnumbered. They have no units around them to absorb a lot of this damage. So this giant is going to fall, I believe. At least route off? I'm not sure. There we go. Not escaping the puppies. Can't escape the puppies. They're going to eat well tonight. And then here comes the Manticores again, trying to get Heinrich Himmler. I believe they charged in from this direction to try and force him way out of... Yep, just like that. To try and force him away from his allies. So I'm like, okay. So I'm going to have the Cloak of Mist and Shadows up, which gives him damage resistance. And then I think I also, at this point, apply the Scroll of Shielding that the Necromancer has that I gave him. I'm going to apply that to Heinrich Himmler as well for magical resistance. Charging in our Blood Knights as the other Manticores come in to try and silence Heinrich Himmler. We just have a lot of units around him, though, so he is well protected. And here comes a Gorbel, too. And the Chaos Sword himself are trying to all come over here and fight us. Manticore in the back that the puppies are dealing with. Mortis Engine's up in here. There goes that Scroll of Shielding for additional damage resistance, because it was clear that my enemy really wanted to kill Heinrich Himmler. They really want to stop his search for KRELL, those evildoers. And yeah, this Gorbel, very heavily armored, very good unit, but against all of the Blood Knights and everything around here, it's not going to be able to hold up against such an onslaught of units. Chaos Sword is going to be doing fairly well on the horse, and here comes the second Chaos or Gorbel as well. And right here, let's take a break. The Beastmen are clearly sending reinforcements to try and assist their Chaos ally against Heinrich's search for KRELL. So let's see how my allies' battle has gone so far. So you can see my allies' battle started off really well with the unfortunate circumstance of Vanguard deploying the Rusty Arrows on top of the Ungor herds. That happens. It's happened to me multiple times where I'm like, oh shit, my Goblin Wolf Riders now Vanguard deployed on top of this force that can easily destroy them. Great, there go Goblin Wolf Riders. So the Rusty Arrow is going to be taken off the field immediately, unfortunately. But luckily enough, there is still a very solid Greenskin army here to back them up. I don't know if I mentioned the Night Goblin Shaman, but they also have a Night Goblin Shaman. One of the best casters, or best support casters in the game. I feel. They're so good. So here come the Ungor Herd of Death and the 3 Centaurs. Now, I would probably have chosen the Centaurs with great weapons. The normal Centaurs are very good harassing units to try and destroy backlines of like archers and things, but the Centaurs with great weapons definitely have more oomph with them because they have the armor piercing. But anyway, the Ungor herds and all of these Centaurs are going to charge in this blob of bestial fury against the Orc Biggins as other infantry comes in to support. Ungor herd, they're not great infantry. The only real cool thing about them is that they can Vanguard deployed. and the Centaurs are not really meant to be stationary in combat. They have really crappy melee stats. It's only their charge bonus that makes them kind of evil, or not evil, but capable. So they really need to cycle charge, just, you know, in and out, in and out. But the rest of the bestial lines are going to meet against these Black Orcs and Orc Biggins over here with the Ungor Spears and the two Gorbals being together. I usually would always say keep the Gorbals together in a tight formation because they will protect each other and do massive amounts of damage. So trying to fight off against the Black Orcs. Meanwhile, the three Giants are going to go up against this cluster of Crimson Killers, the Orc War Boss, the Goblin Big Bosses, and more Black Orcs. And you can see these Goblin Big Bosses and the Orc War Boss are tearing this Giant to pieces. The thing is, the Giants, the way that I would utilize them, they are very powerful, but you should have, like, some of these Ungor Spearmen over here should be around these Giants, so that the Ungor Herd or the Ungor Spearmen can take a lot of the hits for the Giants, as the Giants just do their AoE damage. When you throw in a Giant by itself against a massive infantry, they are very powerful, but they do need support. They need smaller units, a lot of units, to help them tank damage as they deal damage. Because they are very low armored units. Their melee defense is not supremely high. So while they do have a high amount of hit points, they are very powerful. They are also kind of weak in the situation where they are surrounded. But, I mean, at the same time, they are dealing a massive amount of damage. But they do have reinforcements here with all the Manticores, the Chaos Sword, and the two additional Giants from the Chaos player. Meanwhile, over here, the Bestial Ball of Fury is slowly being picked to pieces. Although they have been dealing some decent amount of damage to the Orc Boys, who are also not being cyclocharged like they should be. In an ideal situation where, you know, you can micro them all. It's hard. It's hard to micro everything in the battlefield. It's kind of a static battle right there. These Ungor Spearman herds are actually lasting a long time against these Biggins and this one group of Black Orcs. And then the Giants, I think 2 of them are almost dead. No, 1 is almost dead, 2 of them are below 50% hit points. And with the help of the Manticores and the reinforcement of the 2 additional Chaos Giants, they're actually going to rout off the Crimson Killers, the Black Orc, Orc War Boss, and the Goblin War Bosses. Who may be dead? Did they die at this point? I think so. I think those 2 Goblin War Bosses are actually dead. So what initially looked like it may have been a victory for the Orcs here just because of their sheer numbers, with the backup of the Chaos coming in with that giant flying force and the 2 additional Chaos Giants, they are going to destroy those Black Orcs, the Crimson Killers, which is a huge blow to the Black Orc player. The Gorbals have been separated at this point, which, again, I would try and keep them together nearly at all times. Especially right here, I would go after the Orc War Boss with both of them, because they are really good at killing heroes, and lords. The Ball of Bestial Fury looks like it's actually overcoming the Biggin group and the Black Orcs just due to sheer numbers, and because the Orc Boy Biggins were actually pulled out to deal with these Giants. I believe, yeah, the other Biggin group was actually routed off the field. So right now there are still a lot of Giants, a lot of Centaurs, although a lot of them have taken most of their hit points and damage. Nikon Shaman is still around, buffing and debuffing, I think. Yeah, they took the buff and debuff spell. Orc Boy Biggins are going to be routed off, because now they just don't have the numbers anymore to surround and take out these Giants. So this is a lot of damage being thrown at them. Bestial Fury Ball, still just kind of taking it out with the 2 Orc Biggins that were thrown in their way. Nikon Shaman going to join in this fight as well. I'm quite surprised that they've held out this long against the Orc Biggins. The Orc Biggins are definitely stronger infantry. But yeah, I don't know. They're just holding out. Beast Lord is taking a lot of damage from the Black Orcs, but is still alive and routing off the Orc War Boss. All that's left are going to be this group of Black Orcs, and I think the 2 Orc Biggins on the right. I did a quick charge against the Gorbal and a Giant. I think I killed a Giant, actually, with that charge. Did I? Maybe I didn't. But I charged in, I guess, the Gorbal with my Varix Reavers, and I'm going to pull them right back out again because I don't want them to be in prolonged combat against this force. At least not yet, not unsupported. Over here, you can see the Orc War Boss is going to succumb to his wounds by the Beast Lord, the Centaurs nearby them. So the only leadership the Orcs have left is going to be the Night Goblin Shaman. Luckily enough, the Broken Tusk Mob is going to come back for another quick charge to try and break this group of Ungor herds, but they are not going to have much success in that, due to the nature of just how outnumbered they are here now. So yeah, that Bestial Ball of Fury actually did pretty well. They don't have many units left. Luckily enough, they do have a pocket of resistance over there. And I guess they still have a Crimson Killer dealing with the Chariot over there. But yeah, for the most part, my greenskin ally has been routed off the field. Now, they were dealing with the bulk of both armies there because I wanted to deal with those aspiring champions. I did tell them, I'm like, hey, I'm going to go deal with these Vanguard forces. So, which basically meant I'm not going to be over there for a little bit. But hey, it's all good. So now that the greenskins have been mostly tied up, although they still do have that pocket of resistance over there, the bestial player is going to send their Gorbals and Giants my way. I sent one group of Skeletal Warriors. I think these ones were actually summoned, and I sent them to try and stave off these two Giants away from the main fight over here as we deal with the Manticores, the Chaos Lord, and this Gorbal. You can see we're dealing with one of the Gorbals currently, and then we will go on to the next Gorbal. This group of Skeletal Warriors is doing an excellent job at keeping these Giants at bay, away from the fight. I still have like 30 winds of magic at this point because I haven't had the need to summon or heal that much.
It is time.
So there we go. One Gorbal has been taken down. This Giant has been now taken down by the Varix Reavers, I believe. Dealing with the Exalted Hero and the Chaos Sword. Mortis Engine nearby doing its AoE damage and AoE regen. Getting some rear charges on the Gorbal. Going to try and bring it down, but it has shattered, so either way it is out of the fight. And then the greenskins are going to come in here and try and support me, but it's at this point that the enemy army is going to shatter due to losses that they have incurred. What happened to that Ungor? Okay, yeah, the Ungor is just routed. Okay. So yeah, that is going to be GG. We unfortunately did not find KRELL. Turns out the Orc War Boss, who is now dead, lied to Heinrich Himmler just to try and get his alliance for this battle against his rivals, and he paid the ultimate price for it. Heinrich, not being happy, raised his corpse and used it as a plaything. I don't know. That's how the story goes anyway. So Heinrich Himmler's search for KRELL is going to continue. Good game to my opponents and to my ally. Let's take a look at the kill counts. Not going to be much kill counts for me. Skeletons netted 5 kills, probably against aspiring champions, I guess. 43 kills for the Karen race, who were going up against the Chaos Warriors. 8 kills for the Varix Reavers, which is pretty good. But yeah, like I didn't really have an army to fight. This was an odd build to go against. It was just very focused on monsters, like across, well, I guess these people had some numbers. But my opponent, direct opponent here with the Manticores, I mean, I don't know. All the Manticore spam, it could work in certain situations, but not against my army here. So off to King in Yellow, who dealt most of the damage to the enemy army. Orc Biggins, extremely well. The Goblin Big Bosses ended up getting murdered by those just huge amount of Giants. 18 kills on that Goblin Shaman there at the end. Only one group of Black Orcs did okay because these other ones were dealing with the Giants. These guys managed to get 3 kills before they got routed off. And the Orc Boy Biggins did okay. Let's see, for Michael here, decent kills on the Exalted Hero and the Chaos Lord. Aspiring Champions, then had some kills against my Skeletons. Chaos Warriors, again, against my Skeletons. And the Manticores didn't get to do too much to me. Just because they didn't have any support. And they were, like, jumping into the middle of an entire army. So, it's hard for Manticores to do work in that situation. For Satantless here, we have 67 kills on the Beast Lord, the Chariot. That's not bad. Gorbals did really well. The Ungor Herd Bestial Blob of Death did pretty good to rout off those Orc Biggins and the, Orc Boarboy Biggins and Biggins. And then, of course, the Giants did, for the most part, did pretty good. This one didn't fare as well, but these two did pretty good. So yeah, good game to King in Yellow. It was an odd one, but I don't know. It was cool. I enjoyed it. I always enjoy bringing KRELL and just seeing the puppies in action. So let's just go back and watch a cinematic view of Heinrich Himmler's search for KRELL. Those poor rusty heirs. They didn't even have a chance. So much like how the amount of Giants they brought was kind of a safe pick against our armies, the puppies are also a safe pick against the Warriors of Chaos and the Beastmen. You don't usually see a lot of Beastmen archers, and the only thing that can really damage the puppies from range that the Chaos can bring are going to be the Marauder Horse Masters, which you do see fairly often. So those are a concern you need to worry about. But luckily enough, I didn't have to deal with them in this one. These aspiring champions not being hidden in the forest, man, that was unfortunate for my enemy. But that means puppy play time. I think that dude just got booted out of the map. Yeah, I definitely appreciate them using the Vanguard feature of the Aspiring Champions. I don't really see that ever. It didn't work in this one case, but at least you tried. And even still, like, considering what they were fighting against, these guys held on a long time. Because they're not immune to terror, right? Oh, well, I can't see them. I don't think they are. I'm almost positive they aren't. So, like, the terror from the puppy is pretty strong against them, but they still held out a long time. Let's go over here. Honestly, my ally, I think, had the more visually pleasing fight than I did. I was just dealing with manticores. Oh no, Crimson Killer. Farewell. Yeah, definitely shocked how long these those Ungor people over here lasted against the Biggins. Also to note, the Biggins do have a bonus versus large, so they do really well against just normal Centaurs. Those Manticores trying to kill Heinrich Himmler. You can't kill Heinrich Himmler. Dude's on a quest, man. Your armor piercing does nothing for my wrists. All the puppies. The puppy double team. Hit his ankles. Ooh. It's fine. Shake it off. Just shake it off. Oh, get him. Get him, puppies. Damn! Where you going? And so falls Bob the Giant. Farewell, Bob. Dude, puppies will fight monsters all day. All day long. Alright, what's going on with the orc player? Ooh. A lot of bad stuff over here. If you like giants, this was definitely the battle for you. I have not seen so many in a very long time. Go, Skeletal Warriors! Hold him off! Bite his ankles! There we go. What are you doing, Gorbel? You're in the wrong neighborhood. Oh man, he knocked down Puppy. I thought the Puppy again. Did that Gorbel fall? Bye, giant. And that is when they are going to shatter. So thanks for watching, everybody. We will continue Heinrich's search for KRELL later. I really hope at some point there is a DLC where KRELL is released, so that we can have the battle where he finds KRELL finally. Hopefully at some point down the road. But until then, his quest will continue ever on. Take care, everybody.